Okay, recording is on. Today, that is 6th June 2024, we will start a new topic in the React. So, yesterday we have seen ways of creating, or yesterday we were understanding what do you mean by components, how nested components are going to be work, and then we have created different things. Okay, so we can create the component in this way, right? So today we would be understanding something new in the React called as props. What is that? Hello? Props. So few more things I want to explain. If you look at this, I will come back to these things. What do you mean by restrict mode, react.strict mode and other things? We'll see that. But so far, whatever we have seen, that is nothing but a core React. How React works. We have seen the React components. Now, there is something called as props. What is that? Props. So let me create, or we can use props. So cd desktop and cd main stack, cd day 94. Let's create a new folder, day 94, cd day 94, and we need to create the new React project. How do you do that? How do you create the React project in Vite? Can you tell me? npm create latest, nvm use 18, and let's paste it. Here we can say React props. It will take I think two sessions, or we can cover it in one session also. Let us see. Okay. So if you see in the day 94 src, we got the things. Now what I wanted to do, Anu, you can keep the things. I will delete it. I don't want this thing. I don't want this thing. Unwanted things, you can delete it. Then app.css. Let's delete this file app.css. Index.css, just clean it. And we just have now app.jsx, right? Index.css, we don't need index.css, delete it. In a main.jsx, delete it, right? And that's it. So we have React. So I'm going to coming back to these 2 points. What is a React DOM? Right? We will talk about this, but before that, I want you to give you a quality idea of the React is. Okay. So this is your index.html. So main.jsx, app.jsx. Okay. And it is something like this. Now, what do you mean by props? So I have, what you can say, one component. For your understanding purpose, I can create component here only, and here I can say color bar. Name of the component is what? Color bar, and it is returning a div. It is returning what? a div. If you want to add Tailwind CSS to this project, you can add it, but I will not add it. You can add it. Okay. And here I'm going to call color bar. I'm going to call what? Color bar. And there are 3 paragraphs. 1, 2, 3. And I can say, here I can say, hey, hi. So this will show you the time actually. This will show you actually time. Say 08:00 p.m. This will show you the date 2020 01/01. And this will show you the user, and like this. And what? Like this. Now what? Now here I have called the color bar. Okay, I think node modules is not created. Let's make npm install cd react props npm install. It will install the needed things. And what? npm run dev. Okay, npm run dev 5173 local host 5173. Can you see date, time, and other things? Can you see that? Now if you want to take this guy at the center, you need to create the class called as display flex, right? Hello? Either you can create your own manual class, or you can use what? Hello? Tailwind CSS. Correct. Now what I wanted to do, let us see this is working or not. Can you see this is working? There are actually 2 components, nested components. So in app component, you have color bar. What do you mean by this? We will talk about that later on. Presently, I will shift it to the div like this. These are the divs. And your output is same. There is no change. Now here, now what's happening exactly over here? That's the concern. What's happening exactly over here? That's the concern. Means what? You have one component that is wrapped inside another component, and here is the data static. But what I wanted to do, I want to provide this data dynamically, right? So the way input element is having text attribute, input element is having what? Text attribute. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Input element is having text attribute, correct? In a same fashion, your custom, this is your custom component that you created, which is similar to the input element, which is similar to what? Input element. This can also have its own, this can also have its own property or the attribute. So I want to create 3 attributes like that, and here you can say time is equals to some time I am going to pass. Then date, I'm going to pass some date, and user, I'm going to pass some user. So time, same thing I would be passing from here. Date, same thing I would be passing from here. And the user, same thing I am passing from here. Correct? Now see, where these three things are captured. So there is a one object, name can be anything, variable name can be anything, you know that, right? Variable name can be anything, you know that. But theoretically, there is this variable named as what? Props. So here you can say, and props dot this key, props dot time, props dot, so this thing is nothing but what? World of JavaScript. So in JS, we write the variables, but here the concern is different. Inside JavaScript you are writing HTML. Inside JavaScript you are writing HTML. Now inside this HTML you need to write some JavaScript related code. So these brackets are there. React says that, boss, use these brackets. Inside this bracket you can write any JavaScript code, and that is possible. And here you can say date and props dot user. Can you see still output is same? There is no problem. Is it understandable? Hello?
Yes, sir.
This is understandable, right? There is no concern in understanding this part.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the way input element is having its own properties, in a same fashion, your tag, this is your created tag, it is not actually a tag. We will see what is this exactly shortly. But I want to give you a quality idea of React first, and then we will talk about the internals of the React. Okay, so this is the color bar, and the color bar is showing something like this. We can add tailwind also, not a big deal. That's absolutely not a big deal. So time, date, user, props dot time, and this thing. Now I will add one more color bar over here. So let's add the horizontal rule, HR. So it will create the line. So I can add one more color bar. That component can be in a separate thing also. Now, if this is the object, this can be written in a destructured form, something like this, const. Here you can say time colon date colon user. We have seen this thing in a JavaScript is equals to what? Props. Yes or no? We can write in this way. And then we can, instead of writing props.time, props.date, simply you can use what? Time, date, and user. Even you can write this much thing into the props directly. That is also well and good, no problem. This is also possible. For a few days, for your understanding purpose, I will keep like this: props, time, date, and user, like this. Okay. Now here, see now, I have object const obj or details, dtls, and inside that I can have time is equals to 0900 am. I have one more key, date, and here we can say 20 2020 01 01, and the user this one, and this is the user. Okay, now I want to pass this object, so either you can do time is equals to, now you need to write a brackets over here because you need to access this object, dtls dot time, then again you need to do date is equals to dtls dot date, and user is equals to dtls dot user, and you will get, can you see, different thing like this. Either you can write in this way, or now see, you can do color bar. Now presently you just have three things over here, three attributes to this component. Attributes, the wording attributes is correct in the case of HTML elements. These are the attributes only. But in the React case, in the case of the React, you shouldn't call them as an attribute. But what should you call them as? Props. Correct? What you should call them? Props, properties. You should call them as the props. Correct? Say that again.
So that is called the properties.
Properties. But what you should call them as? Props.
Yes.
Okay. Now when you say the props, the things which are passed to the component externally, things which are passed to the component externally, that things are called as what? Props. Properties. Is that clear? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Now next thing is that how do you pass the props? We have seen these ways. Now presently there are only three props. Three props. That's why we can pass in this way. But if you have a 10 props, how do you do that? So you can take a benefit of object destructuring and 1, 2, 3 DTLs. Can you see? That is also okay. Whatever keys are matching, this time, date, and this user. Or let's write a color bar 2 function. Color bar 2. Color bar v2. Let's write this as v1. And now here I will get the destructured object. I will get what? Destructured object. And rest of the things are same. And rest of the things are same. Now I will remove this thing. I will remove this thing, color bar v2, and here we can say color bar v2, or here we can pass v1. Here also we can pass whatever v2 or v1. Here you get the output. Okay, there is an error. Okay, because the props is now not now there. User. Can you see now? It will work. Destructured thing. You getting my point? If you have any questions, please let me know. Hello?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
So when you will use props, that is also clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Props. Now, how do you pass the props that things? Now there is something called as now there is something called as this is clear, right? What do you mean by three dots? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what I wanted to do, color bar is here. So let's have this color bar. Color bar, let's create a v3, color bar v3 function, color bar v3, and it should, we can pass these details, the destructured object, and from here we can pass it like this. And now color bar v3, and here we can pass this details object as it is. And now see, I'm passing h1 from here. I am header. I am header, but I can't see I am header. Can you see? I can't see I am header. Where is that header? That's my question is. Where is that header? That's my question is. Can you tell me? In the output, if you see this, there is no h1 over here. Correct? There is no h1 over here. I have passed this h1. So this h1 is accessible in the props under the predefined prop called as children. Children. And here you can just say children. And can you see I am header appearing over here? Let's do it before HR so that it will be part of this thing. Is that clear? Props.
Yes, sir.
This is the concept of the prop. Passing the data. Passing the data. When you say prop, I want to pass some data to the component, and that data can be my these things, or that data can be a children. Can you see the content of my component? Content of my component. Well, there are a lot of other things. We will talk about that shortly. Right? We will talk about that shortly. I'm going to revise the concept again and again. Remember that. At the first time, we will discuss things in natural way. We discuss the things in what you can say in fundamental way, and then I am going to enter into the details. Still, I have not discussed what is the React exactly, how React works internally, but you should get first idea of the React. We will do that thing shortly. Okay, but this is what the React is. This is how things are working. Color bar v3 we are passing from here, and that can be accessed under predefined. Okay, if you change this thing, what will happen? If you change this thing, what will happen? Just copy and try to paste it. Can you see? You cannot see that. Whatever the content of your, whatever the content of your, this tag, content means this data, you have passed as between the start tag and end tag. Whatever you pass between start tag and end tag, that would be displayed in this way by and accessed by means of the children prop. As I told you, these are the attributes. Like input type text is there, like input type text is there, type input is a tag name, type is the attribute. Type is what? Type is the attribute. In the same fashion, this is the element and this is the attribute. But in the React term, you will call it as the property. And that can be accessed over here by means of this props object. This name can be anything. You can go ahead and destructure it, right? If there is child, the child can be accessed in the children. And that's what we have done yesterday. Over here, if you see, table v3, right? I told you, what is this thing? We will talk later on. Now you can tell me what is this? This is nothing but what the props are. And that props we are passing from here. Can you see? That props we are passing from here. Correct? So this is the concept of props. You getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now props can be passed. Now let's have one more thing. Now color bar v1, color bar v2, and I can have function simple button return button, and to this class name, or here we can say style, and this style object I want to get it from the prop, say st. This is the st variable, and I can say st over here, right? And remember that this style and the simple button I'm using over here, simple button, but I need to pass the prop to the simple button. Remember that simple button style const st is equals to, we can say border. Well, here you will not get the IntelliSense 1px solid red, and it's in the color bar v3, and here you get the st, right? And this st you need to pass over here. So st is equals to this st. Okay, and let's give some text. Say hello. There is a hello, but border is not coming. The reason border is not coming, you have done this thing wrong. Just remove this object. St. Okay, just a minute. If I type border 1px solid red, can you see style? This is, so this is the inner object we need to pass. And this st, what is inside this st? This st we need. So this st Okay, color bar v3 we didn't pass the st, so dtls and st is equals to st. Color bar v3, this st, simple button. Do we need to destructure this guy? Okay, let's console dot log json dot stringify. What's into that object? We will see. Bad approach, writing console dot log over here. Can you see how it is coming? How it is coming? Inside the props object, it's coming as st. So earlier case was correct. So here you can use st in this way, and now it will work, right? So inside the prop, we are passing it as a prop, and this is nothing but this st is style. So we are passing style. So this thing, so in a color bar v3, there is a one more nested component. Color bar v3 itself is a component. Inside that there is a nested component, and if you want to pass style to this guy from the top level parent, you need to pass that thing to the parent of simple button. Who is the parent of simple button? Color bar v3. Who is the parent of simple button? Color bar v3. So this st have been passed to the color v3, and from here this thing is passed to the thing. So passing the props at the deeper level in this way. Hello? Passing the props
Yes, sir.
at the deeper level in this way. You getting my point? So color bar v3 is containing the simple button. Color bar v3 is containing the simple button. Means this thing is having another thing, and if you want to pass props to this thing, that should be passed to the parent, and from the parent it should be passed to the simple button. Getting that?
Yes, sir.
So that's what the props are. Okay, that's what the props are. Whatever is remaining, we can continue in the next session. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm disconnecting.
Yes, sir.